for WWF.
Yeah.
All right, Brock Lesnar.
So the Levesque thing, I talked about this with Garrett on Friday, and just checking it out, and Paul Levesque is just like, oh yeah, when he wants to come back, he can come back, and it's like, it's the same thing as what Paul Levesque said at the Rumble. It's like, oh yeah, well, we talked, but it's not any big deal. It's like, no, the whole thing was freaking scripted into the show and pulled at the last minute because of the lawsuit. And everything right now, that is not changed. No matter what he said, it's like the Brock Lesnar deal is this. Brock Lesnar gets paid a ton of money for very few dates. He's contracted for a certain number of dates, and they usually will use it early in the year, to rumble through Mania, and then maybe again around SummerSlam or whatever, and if they need him, like last year, they wanted him for a couple of pay-per-views against Cody, to headline some shows. But they have a certain number of dates that they use on him. And while certainly he has input, the reality is that he is home, and whatever dates they want, they use. It's not like, oh, Brock, when Brock wants to call us and come back, we're ready for him. It's like, no, you kind of go like, Brock, we need you for July TVs because we're going to build you for SummerSlam. Just an example. Okay. He has not been called. When they believe that for whatever reason, whatever the reason is, and it absolutely, I think that the key is that Paul does not want to mention that lawsuit ever. He doesn't ever want it brought up. And anything that would relate to that, he's going to come up with something to say to avert saying that. And it's like, what positive does it say if someone asks you, if you're Paul Levesque, right? And goes, hey, when's Brock coming back? And it's like, what are you going to say? You say, as soon as he wants to. That's of course what you're going to say. What are you going to say? Like, well, there's this lawsuit and it's named in the lawsuit and right now, blah, blah, blah. You're never going to say that. But that is what the situation is. When they've deemed, however, who it is legal, that whenever that thing is, we will see him back on television. It could be tomorrow, could be whenever. But that is the reason we haven't been seeing him. And when we see him, it's up to them. I mean, him too. He could always say, my daughter's, got, whatever, the Olympics, which by the way, she didn't make the Olympic team. But that's different. But I mean, if let's just say that's possible. Let's just say she made the Olympic team. And she was throwing. I mean, he could go and say, like, look, I know you want me this week. My daughter's in the Olympics. And, of course, he would have that ability to say that. But as the general thing is he will be there on the dates they request. And they have not requested any dates. And it's not because they don't think he's marketable, obviously, or they don't want to use him. It's because, we're in the situation that we're in, and we'll know when it changes. We're going to see him on TV when it changes. And I think a lot of people got really upset with the idea of, oh, my God, they might bring him back. And then you had this whole debate on, well, what did he really do? What did he not do? What was he, whatever. You had all that thing. Is like, there's no debate. They're not using him right now.
Miko Satomura